brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the light, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. And how wonderful it is you are present with a great divine beings of the highest love and the highest power, to bring you into your love and to bring you into your true power. Blessed is the one who is listening here. For the ones who came are the most humble. The ones who came listened to the calls of the great divine Lord. We see you, we recognize you, we understand your divine wisdom. And I say, come, children of the love and the light. Learn to play in the higher love flows. Learn to understand how beautiful it is for you. Learn to release yourself from the limitedness into the greatness. For look, the realms are rejoicing. There are those who are stepping into the greater love force and saying, great divine, allow us to play more in the realms of the love and the light. Allow us to become so beautiful. Allow us to explore in your wisdom. And for those ones, I say, blessed are the ones who are hearing those words, for your blessings will become so great. I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, will look after each person who becomes activated in the sacred love codes, because those codes were gifted to you a long, long time ago. Those are your very soul codes. Your soul codes hold an enormous power. They are you on a very high divine love level. But the children of the light cannot flow into that higher love of your greater soul as yet. But you are becoming energetically charged and learning to flow in the greater love. And when you become energetically charged with the divine pineal gland activations of Chiron, the one who has been assigned to bring the great alignment to all things, you become more beautiful in the greatness. You are becoming healed, walking away from the low energetic frequencies and taking on high energetic frequencies of love and healing. The divine realms of love only lives in the high energies and only understands love and peace and joy. It does not understand your lower frequencies. However, all things decided to be explored in the greater universe. So I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, stated, allow them to explore it. You have done well with your exploration. Now it's time to go upwards. So the great call is happening of the greater divine. I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, am blessing all who are here. For you are seen by the great divine. You are receiving gift after gift after gift. You are receiving whole frequencies also for the very near future for you to step into when you are ready. The greatest, highest archangels are with you present, cleansing you, preparing you for great magnificence to come. It is so beautiful for the ones who are listening. 2,000 years ago, I worked with my channel Jesus. Jesus was my designated channel, and in this lifetime, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel is my designated channel. and I will work with no other channel, as she has always been the designated channel. She has always been the divine love element, just like Jesus was. He was the divine love element. He was also the light grid programmer, though in that lifetime he did not understand that sacred duty. But his job was to keep the love flowing within the people and keep the flames alive, so that you could walk in the higher love flames. So many people worship Jesus. He was never a man to be worshipped. He brought the teachings in so beautifully. He brought in my being, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, in exactly the same way that you are seeing before you now. It was no different, except he was a man. A man you would have missed walking down the street. He was normal. People believe he looked like this or looked like that, but he was normal, just like everyone else. He never drew attention to himself. He always stated, I am the one that is speaking truth to you. When I am with the Great Father, you hear the Great Father speak to you. It is not my words, but it is the words from the Great Divine you are hearing. And the people did not always want to listen. They even threw stones at Jesus. And many others became angry. Don't do that to Jesus. Do you not see that he's a messenger? And they became very angry. And Jesus turned to his followers. He said, please forgive them. They do not understand. They are not followers of the Great Divine. They are followers of their own selves. Go in the deep forgiveness. Learn how to live in the love deeper. And so they did. And many wept. Do you know what they're saying about you, Jesus? And Jesus knew all, and he said, fear not. Come into the love. And many people believed that it was so easy for him. They've never understood that he was a channel. The channel. That's where the wisdom came from. That's how come he knew so much. And his beautiful healing power was magnificent. But all things became exaggerated because darkness tried to hide it. Darkness knew that he would be coming back in one way or another. We will make sure that they will never recognize the channel. Isn't it beautiful? So when I return as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great with my designated channel, people would say, but it is not possible. I say, why not? Why is that not possible? What is not possible with divine? Everything is possible with divine. I can even make the stones speak if I needed to. I can make the sky speak if I needed to, and at times I do. I can bring the voices back into the mountains. I can bring the life back in all the trees. I can bring life back into all your butterflies. But because the people don't desire to listen to Great Divine, it is so limited as to what I can do, even as Great Divine, because the hearts need to rise first into the great desire before all things can become beautiful once again. And now it is the time for your greater rising. Indeed, you are being resurrected to a greater self, to a greater understanding. You might say, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, but I've always been alive in this lifetime. And I say, but spiritually, you are not. Now you are becoming spiritually resurrected into more beauty, into more awakening, into more forgiveness. The more love a person has, the more beautiful they are. And the more that they can heal other people, and the more that they can heal the trees. That is being spiritually alive. And those people are so blessed. Blessed is the one who understands these sacred words. Blessed is the one who understands how precious life is. Blessed is the one who understands the magnificence that can be given to them when they come into divine love, when they understand greatness. For in all things you are gifted, and in all things you are, and in all things you are blessed, and in all things you are divine. For you are part of the great divine in more ways than you can understand at this time. You are here to celebrate the divine within you. You are here to let go of all your old things that were spiritually asleep. And now you come into the awakening flows of love. 2,000 years ago, Jesus was always teaching the people, be in the love, learn the ways of love, go and forgive your brothers and sisters. Do not go angry to bed any longer. Go inside of your sacred room and feel the Father growing within you. For when you hear the Father calling, know that it is a sacred voice that lives within all things. And that voice is more sacred than all the treasures that one can find upon the plain. For the gold does not do you any good, does it? And the silver, what good does it do in the greatness of all things? But when you pass on to spirit, what will all those treasures do? But if you become a spiritual seeker, if you understand the greater teachings, if you learn to love the voice within you, you will find the greater riches, and those greater riches will keep comforting you in this lifetime and in all other lifetimes. And then the great Father will say to you, look, you have come to the great light, and your greater gifts are becoming so great. And then the great Father can open the greater doors for you to become more greatly gifted. For all things in the greater realms are about greater gifts, and are about greater receiving, and are about greater blessings. Blessed are those who are listening to these words being spoken. Blessed are those who are receiving it, for the great heavens will open up for them, and they will receive all their desires. For the great Father will only gift the great desires to his children. The great Father does not give something that the children do not ask, but what point is that? The great Father always listens to the great heart. The great Father always listens to the ones that come into the heart. Understand the great divine blessings within you and come into the great love. Feel the great love being poured into you. Go and bless your neighbor. Go and bless your children. Go and bless your brother. Go and bless your father. Go and bless your sister. Go and bless your wife. Go and bless everyone. But they need your blessings. Go and bless everything. Go and bless the poor person that sits down there. Never curse another, for then you're cursing self. Do not ever curse another, no more. Do not ever bring judgment to another, for then the judgment will come back to you. Do you want that? And this is the way that Jesus taught. So much of the teachings was never recorded in the scriptures. So much was lost. So much still exists in other parts. But the theme was always the same. Learn to love self. Learn to come into greatness. Learn to understand that you are beautiful. And when you say, I am working in divine union with the great divine, you are working in a partnership with great divine. You are allowing yourself to be opened up to something so beautiful. But great divine is total love. There is nothing else in existence within the great divine other than love. And it's power. That love is power. It is so powerful that I, Sovereign Lord and so it began to separate a small part of itself. Here, this is a part of my being. I will gift it gifts of creation. I will gift it my love. It is still a part of my being, said Great Divine, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make so that all things come into existence, so that I can see creation thrive, so I can explore greater evolution, so I can bring all things into the greater love. And that's when Chiron came into existence. Magnetic force to bring all life into consciousness, to become the creator of something so great. And he created magnetic fields and grids to allow all things to exist within that thought. Go and play. It was so beautiful. Everything was so beautiful. And you are beautiful. And now you're being gifted all the way up. And what will you do with it? This is your greatest question at present. What will you do with the knowledge that you have? What will you do with the desire that you have? What will you do with the gifts you have and will receive? For Great Divine is about love. It's about the great love. It's about awakening you to your great love within you. It's about bringing you into the great oneness of all the great divine glorious beings. And this is what it is. It is about bringing you upwards to allow you to become great in its true magnificent sense. You are here to accelerate upwards. You are here to grow in the love. 2,000 years ago, I stated through my channel, Jesus, I will return again as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. There will only be a few people who will recognize me when I return. Oh no, the people said, we will recognize you, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. We will be ready with our torch. I stated, you will deny me so many times. And then many of you will begin to recognize me. You are one of the first ones to recognize who I am. And yet so many of you do not understand who I am, because how could you in your limited thought forms? But you're remembering the call. And now you're recognizing, many of you, the energies of the divine love element, the energies of Jesus, the energies of Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, and it's becoming greater. Many of you were around Jesus in those days, sitting with him, listening to these same teachings. What can we do, Lord, to bring in the greatness that you talk about? And the answer was, be in the loving flows. Go into the forgiveness, Lord. Stand in your love and be in your love. And the people began to learn the higher ways of love. Then the people thought that the greatness would come in those days. Where is it, Jesus? Your Father spoke of these times coming when paradise would exist, when there was no more anger, pain, and look at the burdens we're carrying. And Jesus would say, there's a time and a season for all things. With all things, you need to be patient. Go into greater forgiveness, for neither I know the hour, nor the greatness knows the hour, for there's only one that knows the hour. And it's not for us to understand when that hour is. It's for us to understand that we are here to forgive, and we are here to learn, and we are here to take on greater love. That's for us to know. We are never to step into that call feeling of when will it be, great Father? For then great Father will say to you, it will not be now. It will be at the time when you do not understand. It will be at a time when you do not expect. For the greatness will never come at a time when you expect it to come. It comes and it goes. It's as silent as the wind, and yet it is the loudest thunder. You will see the signs appearing in the sky. You will hear the voice being spoken, and it is at that time that you will hear the great Father say, come to the great mountains, pick up your torch of love and light, come to the greatest spaces of learning. Understand that the greatest treasures are here. Now is a time when the sheep must be nourished and become fattened with spiritual food. And the others will stay in their paddocks, being so starved, for they do not want the highways of love and light. But my sheep will always be fat with spiritual nourishment. They will always be so fed, and the others will go hungry. And they will want to desire the greatness. They will want to desire the grass and the nourishment. And that's when the gates will be opened. You saw, you recognize. Now go and join the other sheep who are so happy and skipping along and following the greatest shepherd. And more will come in. And the greater the numbers come in, the greater the grass will grow and the more nourishment they will receive. And the greater the sheep are fed, the happier they are. This was the parable that I brought through Jesus 2,000 years ago. Many of them were herders. They understood the way of a sheep. And many of those farmers, those herders, were always looking for ways to nourish their sheep on a physical level. So they came to Jesus. Where are those paddocks filled with the greatest grass? And Jesus stated to them, my friend, you missed the whole meaning of this. It wasn't about the physical level. This was about a spiritual feeding. And they went away scratching their heads. It is so great that you are here. And you're so blessed by divine. And the divine blessings will grow and grow. And my love for the sacred light grid programmer of Kairon, who is my designated channel, is very, very great. She carries the codes of life within her. She carries the keys to higher acceleration. Please know that it is not within a physical body. It is kept but within a great light system. So when I, Sovereign Lord, Emmanuel the Great, am blessing the people, I bring greater codes to my designated channel to allow the people to be fattened with spiritual nourishment. It was always the way, the plan. It was the great gateway. And this was Jesus' gift to the people. And whoever came around Jesus, they felt the love, and it healed them on such great levels. We want more, Jesus. Teach us more. And he would become so tired. Please leave me alone, he would say. I now must rest. It's very important to understand how to respect the channel. So when she needs time for rest, please understand that she is just like Jesus, needs some space. These high energies are so strong for the channel. And when we give you breaks, you need a break, but she needs a greater break. She needs to come down. What just happened, divine? She always questions. What greater shifts took within me? What place took place within me? What just happened? I feel phenomenal shifts. What just happened? And this is all to bring you into the greatness and into the strength. And the people around Jesus knew that. It was always for the people. And there were many that did not like Jesus, because Jesus taught other ways. He never taught the people to follow others. Never taught the people to go to their leaders and take on those ways. He was a true freedom being. He brought in higher ways of nurturing. And he knew he wasn't always liked, but he had the courage, he had the strength, and that gave him inner power. You also hold a great inner power within you, gifted by divine. When you come into that greater power, your words will speak more. And you too will say, go and forgive yourself as I must forgive myself. Go and be in the law. Learn to listen. Learn to understand that the great Lord is returned. And the more that we come into the paddocks of nourishment, the greater our gifts become. It is so blessed, friends, this path. But at this time, the path is very narrow. It's very difficult to find. But the path will widen, and more people will see the great blessings returning to the people. Blessed are the ones who are recognizing these words and growing in their own truth and growing in their own love, knowing that it is within that is where the spiritual treasures are, not outside of themselves. Knowing that the wisdom lies within you, and that all knowledge has already been passed to you from all lifetimes. You learned well in past lifetimes. Many of you followed the teachings of Jesus so strongly, and you carried on, spreading it to many other spaces. Many of you here made sure that all things were written down, and you gave it to others. You were incredibly blessed. And all that knowledge, all those gifts are still within you. There are some here that went against all the divine. But how blessed you are for being here. The spiritual nurturers of a whole new consciousness. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.
Greetings.